Welcome to my very first The Last of Us Season 2 episode review video. Yes, I'm aware I'm a little behind on these. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you aren't caught up to the point where I am at rewatching or watching The Last of Us, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. Like I mentioned, I'm pretty behind. As of the moment of this recording, The Last of Us Season 2 has already aired all 7 episodes. I did review videos of The Last of Us Season 1 right after the episodes ended, and those you can find at the end of this video with about 20 seconds left. I'll put the link to that playlist in case you want to check any of those out. I never played any of The Last of Us video games. I'm familiar with them, and I know most spoilers about the video games going into this series. I was interested in The Last of Us Season 1 due to the trailer. The trailer looked really good, and various YouTubers, Cody Leach, yeah, I'm talking to you, who pumped up the show. And I gotta admit, I like the show a lot. Some of the things I'm a little clueless, and it would be helpful to have maybe more of a backstory on how, things started. But, I mean, we got a little bit of that information in the show. But, it's similar to The Walking Dead in a sense, but... So going into it, knew really nothing about how everything started. Just knew things that happened in the show, especially the big moment in the Last of Us 2 video game. And And I didn't do episode review videos going into Season 2 to start because I felt like nobody was really coming to my channel to watch those videos. Like all the videos, the biggest one I think did, the review videos from Season 1 did like 80 views, which that's fine. 80 people came to my channel to watch one Last of Us video, so I'll accept that. But some of them did like 20 to 24 views, which that's fine. I'm not a guy you would necessarily come to for the Last of Us content, but I feel now that I waited, I have a better understanding of the show, and I feel like going into Season 3, whenever that decides to come out, I feel like I'll be able to do a better review than I did initially. So that's kind of my Last of Us history. So if you're a fan of The Last of Us and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button. Share this video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode, the Season 2 premiere episode of The Last of Us. What would you rate it? And who, if you had to choose, would be your character of the episode? I try not to give it to the main characters, depending on who the main characters are, but sometimes I have to, but I try to pick like a different character besides the main characters of the show, like the secondary character. And then last, but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe to the channel. You're watching the video anyway. Help me get over 100,000 subscribers. Yes, I know I set my goals high. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV. And you should know before each episode or before each review, I am rewatching the episodes to refamiliarize myself with what happened, and then taking obviously really good notes, or trying to take very good notes. So with all that said and all that rambling, this will be The Last of Us Season 2 Episode 1, the Season 2 premiere. The title of this episode is called Future Days. And this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. So we start with kind of what happened at the end of Season 1 of Last of Us, where Ellie tells Joel to swear what he told her about what happened at St. Mary's Hospital is actually true. And Joel repeats to which a disbelieving Ellie simply replies, okay, before walking ahead, while Joel following at a distance. Meanwhile, in Salt Lake City, the surviving Fireflies bury their own dead while discussing their options. Owen proposes they travel to Seattle, where their friend Ed's brother Isaac, who will come to play later on, runs an outfit that they could join. Abby demands that they go after Joel for revenge because Joel killed her father, that was a doctor that was going to kill Ellie to help everybody else out for the cure part. But Joel slaughtered all of them, and Ellie found out, and now she wants, or not Ellie, I'm sorry, Abby found out, and she wants revenge on Joel for what he did. But Owen points out that they lack the resources or his location. He proposes they travel to Seattle, regroup, and hopefully get some leads on where Joel is. The group promises Abby that they will eventually find Joel and kill him. Ellie wins in a hand-to-hand combat section against Caleb, overseen by Jesse. However, Caleb and Jesse admit that Joel told them to pull the first punch. Jesse asks Ellie if she will attend Jackson's New Year celebration. She hedges while warning him not to pull punches. We have a construction group working on building a new house in Jackson. discover an old gas line that has been filled with roots. One of the members, Dina, heads inside the house to talk to Joel, their foreman, who is distracted by trying to fix some breakers. Dina sits down to try to learn, but inquires while Ellie, her best friend, is angry at Joel, admitting that it is easy to surmise based on how the two have been behaving. Joel claims it is just natural cause of Ellie turning 19 and acting out, but it becomes clear that his estrangement from Ellie is bothering him. Dina catches him casually using therapy talk and realizes he is talking to Gail. Embarrassed, Joel tells Dina to clear out the roots and fix the line, and asks her not to tell anyone he is in therapy. Ellie and Tommy kill some stray infected with a sniper rifle. They observe that the number of infected they have been seeing has increased. After finishing for the day, Tommy tells Ellie he plans to take her off patrols and put her on gate watch. Ellie easily guesses that Joel told him to do this, which Tommy admits is because he knows Ellie has been going off by herself to kill infected alone, despite Ellie pointing out that she does not need to worry due to her immunity. Tommy reluctantly assigns her to a patrol group the following day. While Joel goes over construction plans, Maria, Tommy's wife, tensely observes as the new group of refugees are escorted into Jackson. Despite Joel stating that they are building as fast as they can, Maria expresses concern that there is not enough room in Jackson for the refugees that they are bringing in. Joel argues that they should look after their own first, which means leaving the refugees out in the wild. He plays around with Maria and Tommy's son Benji just as Tommy comes back from patrol. As Joel leaves, Maria pointedly reminds him he was once a refugee himself. Joel arrives at Gail's house for therapy, played by Catherine O'Hara, who is, of course, Kevin McAllister's mom in Home Alone. He silently eyes a discarded second pair of boots by the door. Gail comes out, offering him whiskey, explaining that it is her birthday. Joel gives her payment some marijuana, which Gail complains is it's not compared to what her husband Eugene grew for her. The session begins, and Joel complains about his usual issues with Ellie and how she is acting out, having moved into their garage to get away from him. Gail, who admits to having been drinking before Joel arrived, declares he needs to stop lying to her, claiming that he just has been talking in circles in their past sessions. She accuses him of knowing why Ellie has distanced herself from him and that he needs to say it out loud even if it scares him. She goes first by admitting her deep-seated anger and hatred towards Joel for killing Eugene, her husband. Joel's the one that killed Eugene, noting she knows why he did it, but that every time she sees Joel, it reminds her of how angry it makes her. She states that she can't take that admission back, but now that it's in the air, there's a chance for her to make things right with Joel, and prompts Joel to go next and say the thing he is afraid to say. Joel fights back, tears, but firmly stands and declares, "I saved her," before leaving. Dina greets Ellie at the garage to escort her to the patrol. She helps Ellie strap her shotgun onto her back. As Ellie suppresses her barely concealed crush on Dina, Dina invites Ellie to join her and Joel in watching some Curtis and Viper movies, which Ellie ignores. Ellie reunites with Shimmer at the stables before they head to the gates to join the patrol, led by Kat. Jesse gives them their basic instructions, emphasizing that they are only reconnaissance and that they see anything they only need to report it and return so a squad can be dispatched there. So they're not supposed to do anything but observe something and then report back. Don't try to fight off or whatever. So Dina asks Ellie if she's going to the New Year's celebration that evening with anyone. She notes Kat is available, but Ellie refuses, citing their past romantic history. Dina observes that Ellie is interested in someone else and proposes that they go together. When Ellie asks why she isn't going with Jesse, Dina reveals they actually broke up again. The patrol comes to a halt when Kat notices a trail of blood leading down the road. Ellie pushes ahead despite Kat's protests. They arrive outside the remains of the Green Place Market, where they are stunned to see the corpses of a bear and several dead infected, apparently having killed each other in a fight. Noting evidence that is at least one infected survivor, Ellie and Dina decide to venture inside the supermarket themselves to take it out, which Kat reluctantly allows. Dina and Ellie split up and individually manage to take down both clickers with their knives. Just as they celebrate their win, Ellie falls through the deteriorating building's floor, landing in the main hall of the supermarket. While Dina searches for a way out, Ellie realizes an infected is in the aisles with her. Spotting it and assuming it to be a runner, she goads it to attack her, but is surprised when it hides from her, tricking her into letting her guard down before pouncing. Ellie manages to kill it with her handgun, though before it bites her in the stomach, and she hides her injury just as Dina arrives back and gets down there to greet her. Are you okay? Ellie and Dina report to the town council. Ellie describes the infected as acting more intelligently than any she had seen before, almost as though it was stalking her. Tommy gets mad at them for breaking patrol rules, only for the two and Maria to remind him that he and Joel often did the same. The council are troubled by this and the report of infected working together to kill a bear. Tommy claims it could have been a one-off incident, but Maria points out if it is a trend among infected, it could easily become a horde. Ellie, back at home, uses her knife to cut into her bite wound and disguise it before stitching it closed. As she journals in the garage where she vents about her crush on Dina, Joel enters to check if she is coming to the party. She notices her guitar and sees that her strings are worn out and immediately leaves to put replacements on it. At the party, Ellie watches Dina dance with the other men in town. She and Jesse talk over how embarrassing it is attending these parties while single. Ellie tries to encourage him that he and Dina will be back together in 2 weeks, but Jesse simply replies that if it will not happen this time. Dina finds Ellie and drags her onto the dance floor. As the two slow dance, inebriated Dina starts to flirt with Ellie, both verbally and physically. Eventually, the two share a tender kiss, only to be rudely interrupted by Seth, an older man who accuses them of disrupting a family event and calls them homophobic slurs. Just as Ellie moves to confront him, Joel appears and shoves Seth to the floor, demanding he get out. Ellie turns her anger to Joel, telling him she doesn't need his help. Joel leaves in shame while Gail watches with sadness. As the rest of the Jacksons celebrate the new year, Ellie returns home where she sees Joel playing with her newly restrung guitar on the porch. The two stare at each other for a moment before Ellie storms back into her garage alone, leaving Joel on the porch. Unbeknownst to the town's residents, the roots that the construction group found in the gas line contain live cordyceps tendrils. In the mountains surrounding Jackson, Abby's group spots the town's lights and they advance forward. And that's what ends this episode of The Last of Us Season 2 premiere. So, I mean, not the best episode. There were a couple good moments. The infected one that was in the supermarket that went after Ellie, that was pretty cool. But all in all, it was to set up the next episode, which we know is a crazy episode. I'll score this episode a 7.0 out of 10. My character of the episode is obviously Ellie, but if I don't pick Ellie, it would be Dina. I actually like Dina's character a lot. So you've heard everything that I have to say about this premiere episode of The Last of Us Season 2. Now it's your turn if you're a fan of The Last of Us. Like I said before, don't forget to help me out with the algorithm. Hulk smash the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of The Last of Us. What would you rate it? Who would be your character of the episode? And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel. Help me get over 100k subscribers. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDevTV.